For over 36 years, the Alumni Association has made it a point to acknowledge the dedication, commitment, excellence, and character that embodies Aquinas College alumni. Whether they are outstanding alumni, those with distinguished service, or dedicated board members, the Aquinas College Alumni Association is proud to honor the individuals being recognized this evening. It is my pleasure to invite Tony Nolan, a 1966 Aquinas alum and Vice President of the Alumni Board, and Ryan Smith, a 2000 Aquinas graduate who has been a member of the Alumni Board for several years and who currently chairs our Awards and Nominations Committee, to come forward for tonight's Alumni Award presentations.
We can get it up a little bit here. Thank you, Connie. Our first award this evening has been presented since 1971. The Distinguished Service Award is given to those who have provided outstanding service to the college in all capacities, whether serving on committees or attending or volunteering at various college events. Tonight, we add to the list of Distinguished Service Award recipients printed in your program a pair whose life and work have exemplified Aquinas' ethic of service to others. Mike and Kiki Heischetter-Lown, both Aquinas graduates, have been extremely active and involved with student scholarship programs. As those who converse with them will attest, it is rare when Aquinas isn't brought into their conversations. Their love for each other and Aquinas is evident in all they do, and it positions them as true ambassadors for the college. Both have excelled in their careers and have been active in the greater community, serving on a variety of boards and committees. As a result of their broader service responsibilities, they have been instrumental in providing to Aquinas corporate connections to several major companies. For their tireless efforts in service to the college, the Alumni Association proudly presents its 2006 Distinguished Service Award to Mike and Kiki Lown.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We are honored to receive the Distinguished Service Award this evening. We stand before you with great humility. Mike and I are fortunate to have been raised by two loving families, both present tonight, in which service and giving were a part of our everyday lives. At a very young age, we were taught that God expects us to share the gifts that He has bestowed on us with others. It is from this upbringing which we continue our work today. Throughout our careers, we have been fortunate to work for people who were supportive and encouraged community involvement. Our association with Aquinas goes back some 20 years ago when we both encountered Paula Meehan at our respective high schools. Her enthusiasm for the college engaged us immediately. We both loved everything about Aquinas: the beauty of the campus, the faculty, the student-to-faculty ratios, and the friendships that we developed and continue to enjoy today. We benefited from a strong college education that has helped us create and maintain strong professional careers.
It was that professional career that brought Kiki and I together. Both of us being accounting majors and 1 year apart, we met first, not at Aquinas, rather than when Kiki began her career at Touche Ross, where I started the year before. That was when we found our common bond in Aquinas. And upon graduation, we did not enter association with the school. In fact, that is where we alumni are charged with applying the Aquinas College mission by which we were guided and educated. to emphasize career preparation with a focus on leadership and service to others. One cannot force people into service, but we can only hope that through our own actions and deeds, we inspire more people to become involved to benefit and change the lives of others. Thank you again to Aquinas College for everything you've done for us, and thanks to the Alumni Association for this honor.
Mike and Kiki, thanks again for all you do on behalf of Aquinas. The Outstanding Alumni Award is the oldest award presented at Aquinas. Since 1970, the Aquinas Alumni Association has given the award to the many individuals whose names appear in this evening's program. Tonight, we add the name of a 1971 graduate, Jim Brunson, to that list. Jim maintained an active campus life while attending here in the late 60s and early 70s. Jim earned a law degree after Aquinas and took that degree into the military, where he served as a member of the Army Judge Advocate Corps. He returned to Michigan following his service and became an assistant county prosecutor in Bay City. He joined the Michigan Army National Guard in 1981 as a captain with responsibilities as a legal officer. He has since received 2 promotions, to full colonel in 2001, serving as the State Judge Advocate of the Guard, and in 2004 to the rank of Brigadier General in the role of Deputy Commander of the Michigan Guard. In his civilian life, he has been an Assistant U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan since 1986, handling both civil and criminal prosecutions. Despite his many responsibilities in both his military and civilian positions, he hasn't neglected his alma mater. He attends college fairs on behalf of Aquinas, writes congratulatory letters to successful student applicants, participated in many college reunions, and has consistently contributed financially to the college. His wife, Diane, says, quote, "Jim's affection and loyalty to Aquinas that impressed me 34 years ago when we first met continues to this day. The education and values that he received at Aquinas have served him well in all of his endeavors as a husband, a father, attorney, and soldier." End quote. Please join me in congratulating the 2006 Outstanding Alumnus of the Year, Brigadier General Jim Brunson.
Well, thank you, and good evening to all of you. And let me first of all offer my congratulations to the others this evening who are receiving these awards for their roles and their affection for this fine institution. I want to tell you a short story about how it came to be that I enrolled at this institution in the fall of 1967. My dad was an attorney, and I grew up in suburban Detroit. And the summer after my sophomore year in high school, my dad had a business trip that was to take him to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and also to Grand Haven. And so he decided to take me with him. So up to Sault Ste. Marie we went for a day or two, and then we drove down to Grand Haven. And then on our way back to the Detroit area to return home, we stopped on this campus on a nice summer August afternoon, totally unannounced. I don't know how my parents heard about Aquinas or where they heard about Aquinas. I don't recall any discussion in the home about this institution in particular, and I never saw any literature in the home. So here we were, my dad and I, and we stopped in, and unannounced, as I said, and we met a college official whose name escapes me, who spent hours with the two of us, took us all around the campus, answered all of our questions, sat down with us at great length. Very warm, nice individual, and I got a real good taste of the campus, and I fell in love with this institution right then and there. Aquinas was the only college that I applied to. I spent 4 wonderful years here, and I distinctly recall in May of 1971, after taking my last exam of my senior year, it was an art appreciation course. After taking that exam, trudging back to my apartment on Milton Street and thinking to myself, Jim, you're no longer a college student. And that was not a particularly good feeling because I was in no hurry for those 4 years to end, but end they did. So this award means a great deal to me. No one accomplishes things in life by themselves, and I certainly have had the strongest partnership that a person could ask for in my wife, Diane. And Diane, thank you so much for your support and love all these years. And I also want to thank and acknowledge here tonight the presence of my roommate for 4 years who made a surprise visit, drove up here from Columbus, Ohio, tapped me on the shoulder in the Loudet room. I had no idea he was coming. Dr. Greg Goski. Thanks, Greg, for coming here tonight. And finally, if you will bear with me for just another moment, I also want to acknowledge special friends who came here tonight for this event. My very good friend for many, many years, John Longcore, class of 1968 in the back there, John, his wife Ruth, and John's sister Judy, class of 1966. So thank you all once again. This is great. Thank you again. Hope I didn't go over 3 minutes.
Thank you, General Brunson, and again, congratulations. At this time, we present the 3rd Alumni Award for the evening, Board Member of the Year. The work of the board, and more importantly, its individual members, is vital to the health of the organization. Before I proceed further, I'm going to ask the alumni board members who are present this evening to please stand. We have a really exceptional alumni board. They are hardworking and diligent, enthusiastic, energetic, and have a never-ending stream of ideas. And the next award is going to be given to a woman who has a never-ending stream of ideas. The Board Member of the Year is awarded by our entire Board of Directors through a balloting process and is a tribute to a year full of hard work and dedication. This year's recipient is a 1987 graduate, Barbara Selesky. Barb has demonstrated the level of commitment to the Alumni Association through outstanding service and leadership to the college. At the time of the award nomination, the candidate must have completed 1 year of service as a director for the Aquinas College Alumni Association. In addition, the candidate must have attended all board meetings held during the year and must be active on 1 or more committees. Barb has met these criteria even while living 170 miles away in northern Michigan. And there's one other thing about Barb. Since her award was announced, we've been chidingly calling her the head halo. And I got a phone call last week from Barb, and instead of saying, Connie, this is Barbara, like she normally does, she said, this is the head halo calling. I think she kind of likes that title. So now I'd like you to please join me in congratulating Barbara Selesky, this year's Board Member of the Year. Congratulations, girl.
Thank you.
I got the wine.
Good evening. Renee called me on the phone. Said, they've elected you to this position. And I think scripturally about things. So the first thing that came to my mind was the fellow who started out from Damascus and was suddenly knocked to the ground, getting his bearings and dusting himself off, and looking up to the heavens, out of his mouth we hear, "Good evening, Lord." So I begin. "Good evening, Lord. It's Barbara." Thank you to my posse, my pack, my paisanos, my amigos, our team who have shared the enthusiasm of successful service to the Aquinas family. My mother encountered the footsteps of Aquinas in 1937 when she was a student at Mercy Central School of Nursing. The chemistry prof was from here. In 1957, the footsteps of Aquinas came to the hinterlands of Clacking Creek with the truth. I have never looked back. In this world of grays and mauve, I learned to appreciate the truth in black and white. I was a student here in the class of 62 to 87. My fellow board member, John Rice, inquired if I was on campus the whole time. I was not. And one of the times I wasn't here was on a weekend when Dr. Kono was trying to teach us some business education. And he gave us a break. And during that break, I wrote him a note. "The Pope's in town. I'm leaving." It went to Pontiac. To see. I am proud of the AQ footsteps that been around the world and then some, from Tully Cross to Tokyo, from Africa to Europe, from Spain to Mexico, and to Iraq. Even the hinterlands of northern Michigan and the pueblos of New Mexico. I am proud of the heart prints that have been left everywhere we have gone, from Appalachia to Chimbote, to the poorest neighborhoods and schools, and in Danbury Prison. I am proud of the quality of teachers that have always come from Aquinas. And to that light, our alumni board is instituting a classroom grant to our teacher alumni, one for the high school and one for the grade school, middle school each semester. This will begin in the spring of 2007. Please join me. Wait a minute. Please join me in a toast. To our Aquinas family and to our beloved school, we raise our glass with a cup full of kindness, thanksgiving, and love. To those not here with us tonight, we send our prayers of thanksgiving for you. Hear, hear. Hear, hear. Amen. Alleluia. Thank you very much. You want me to throw something or you? I got it. Thank you. You don't want it.
Thank you all, and again, congratulations to our alumni award winners. Next on the agenda this evening is the induction of several former student athletes who comprise the 5th Athletic Hall of Fame class. Our presenter, a Hall of Famer in his own right, coached Aquinas baseball teams for 30 years and has served as the college's athletic director since 1978. And as I suggested earlier, I'd like you to please join me in a warm welcome for one of the most important people on any college campus, the athletic director, Terry Beauchamp.
Thank you, Dr. Bella. It's a privilege this evening to represent our fine staff of coaches in our athletic department, over 350 current student athletes, as well as thousands of former student athletes, as we induct the members of our 5th Athletic Hall of Fame class. Because I'm getting older, they're giving me some help, and Coach Nash, our women's basketball coach and women's athletic director, is going to help us with this first presentation. The strength of Aquinas College has always been its people, and tonight we honor 5 individuals who definitely left their marks both in and out of the college athletic arena. The selection process is difficult as Aquinas has had so many outstanding people, but these individuals that we recognize tonight are second to none. Our first inductee had a remarkable volleyball career for Aquinas. She not only started every match during her 4-year career, but finished as an Aquinas record holder of 17 different single-season and career marks. She was given NAI All-State recognition 3 times and was named to the first-team squad during her senior year. She highlighted her accomplishments by being given NAI All-American honors in her senior year, becoming the first Aquinas volleyball player to earn such honors. She also was named to the Academic All-American team as well that year. Please welcome Aquinas' first volleyball All-American, Sean Pearson Gleason.
I would like to thank Aquinas College for a wonderful 4 years educationally and athletically. I'm very honored and proud to accept this award. Thank you to my mother and father for all of their love and support throughout my life, and a special thanks to my father for providing the funds to attend Aquinas. Thank you to my husband, who is my everything. He gave me so much support to complete my goals here at Aquinas, and I couldn't have been successful without him. He was an exceptional baseball player here for Mr. Beauchamp. Thank you to my children for so many great things are going to happen in all of your lives because you all have been blessed. It is up to you to be what you want to be, and your dad and I will help you get there. I love all of you, and thank you for everything that you have brought to my life, Aquinas College, and all of you have made me the person I am today. Thank you.
Our next presenter is who's going to help me is Coach Dave Hammer, our basketball coach. Last year, both of our basketball teams won our conference, went to the national tournament, but Coach Hammer brought the men's team to the national tournament for the first time in the history of Aquinas College. So, Coach, thanks for helping me out. Our next inductee accomplished something no other Aquinas student athlete has ever done. He earned All-American honors not just in one sport, but in 2. Mike Wilson earned these honors 3 times in track in the high jump and once in basketball. Mike accumulated over 950 points and 500 rebounds in his basketball career and played on 2 highly successful teams. In track, Mike earned All-American honors 3 consecutive years and finished as the national runner-up in the high jump in 1989. He still holds all Aquinas College high jump records. Mike also was honored with academic All-American honors in both of those sports. Ladies and gentlemen, Aquinas' only 2-sport All-American, Mike Wilson.
You can tell he played basketball. Yeah, I would like to offer my congratulations also to all of the recipients tonight. I feel very honored to be here. I've had a lot of time over the past couple months, ever since Coach Bo gave me the call that I was going to be a part of tonight. Just trying to make sense of what all this means, and I'm not sure I've really come up with a good answer yet. I guess during the time that I've been thinking about all this, a lot of people have surfaced. There's been so many people that have been a part of this award tonight. It's kind of hard to just have my name on it, actually. The late Marv Folkert, who was my basketball coach in high school, who as a freshman just sat me down and said, you know, Mike, here are the goals that you need to have. And they were some pretty lofty goals. And he had never been my coach yet. That kind of got me thinking about a lot of things. Bob Kernelsi, who was my track coach in high school, who was an Aquinas alumnus, who knew I was coming to Aquinas as a senior, and even though he had a sense I may do high jump at Aquinas, he was a high jump record holder at Aquinas and also at Caledonia, he still coached me and still pushed me and encouraged me to do my best. The people here at Aquinas, I'm really honored tonight to be a part of this same night with Dr. Nelson, who was always such an encouragement to all the students. In fact, my wife was a student here for a year, and she remembers Dr. Nelson very well. My mother was just talking about seeing him at basketball games. He always had a word of encouragement, a smile for all of us. It didn't just matter athletes or whatever the case was. He was there for us. He was a person out there supporting the students of Aquinas. Coach Randall, Coach Hines, who recruited me to Aquinas, Coach Musso, who was the track coach, who had his own unique way of encouragement. He actually told me I was the ugliest runner he had ever seen. At first I didn't really know how to take that. I don't know how personal he was really getting. I took it that I needed to work on my technique and left it at that. He, in fact, when I finally did accomplish a long-time goal of jumping 7 feet, he came up to me and said, I wish I would have coached a 7-footer, or I never got to coach a 7-footer. And it really was that comment that he had made to me, about being an ugly runner that helped me do that. So he really did do that. There's so many people that encourage us every day. For me especially, tonight my parents are here. This happens every time. I say I'm not going to get too emotional, but usually when I talk about my wife or my parents, it starts to happen. They've had a way of giving their kids their values. I'm not really sure how they did it because they really never talked a whole lot. They just led by example all the time. They went to work every day. They had pride in what they did. They encouraged us to do our best. Somehow they've raised 4 kids that really still share their values. We have 82 years of marriage between us. We attend worship services every Sunday. All of the mothers have stayed home with their kids. And I'm not here to say that's the only way to do things, but that's how they did things, and their kids have done it the same way. The work ethic that they instilled in us. Sometimes I don't know if it's a curse or a blessing. My dad, my mom, they went to work every day. I think my dad got an award at Steelcase for attending for 30 years without missing a day. I've told people that I'm not sure if it's a curse or a blessing. As I've gotten older, I've come to realize what a blessing it is because we've learned to love our callings. We've learned to love our work. And I think that goes for the 4 kids. The nice thing is they're batting 1,000. It's not like we had 8 kids in the house and only 4 of them picked up their values. They really did it for all 4 of us. So I'm so grateful for them, for just teaching me how to love work, to love the calling, and for that I'm eternally grateful. Thank you for this award tonight. It means the world to me to be given it by Aquinas. It's kind of hard to talk to students. As a teacher and a coach, they start finding out things. You're being inducted into a Hall of Fame. What does that mean? It's kind of a stuffy thing. And what it really means is that there are a lot of people there to support me, to support all of us as we really try to accomplish some things to represent Aquinas well. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. I wouldn't have the opportunity when you were here.
My next 2 helpers or presenters were our former inductees into the Athletic Hall of Fame. They are members of the 1963 golf team that we featured a couple of years ago, Dave Cam and Tom Gunn. Would you please join me on stage? Tom is still our golf coach, and last year we won the league with the lowest scores in the 13-year history of our conference. So he hasn't forgotten everything. That's right. That's right. Our next three inductees represented Aquinas golf teams in three different eras. Each achieved individual success and were captains of great Aquinas teams. After leaving Aquinas, they proved true the adage that golf is indeed a lifetime sport by having unparalleled success in amateur golf circles for decades. 4 major Grand Rapids area amateur golf events are played each summer. There have been a combined total of 164 tournaments since they began. Of that number, Aquinas alumni have won more than a quarter of them. 38 by 3 gentlemen we are honoring tonight, and 7 more by another 6 alumni you see listed behind me, bringing the total championships won by Aquinas alums to 45. As I said, tonight we honor 3 gentlemen who between them have captured 38 of these titles and who currently rank 1st, 2nd, and 4th in all-time victories on the local circuit. In addition, each of them has won each of the 4 majors at least once. Greg Johnson, golf editor for the Grand Rapids Press, currently told me in a discussion I had with him last week that when you meet these 3 guys, you know they're golfers. You know they have a genuine love for the game. But you would never know that they have accomplished as much as they have in golf because they're all pretty humble. I guess that's the Dominican sisters, what they've done for all of us. Tonight, for their many golfing achievements and for their love of and dedication to the game of golf, we honor each with induction into the Aquinas Hall of Fame and with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Our first recipient, Bob Secocious, had a fine golf career at Aquinas as a 4-year starter and a 2-time NAI All-State performer. Bob captained the 1978 team and was a 7-time medalist in matches played over his final 2 seasons. However, what Bob has accomplished in the Grand Rapids amateur golf scene may never be matched. He has captured an amazing 24 amateur titles, outdistancing his closest rival by 15. He's won each of the majors at least 3 times and has won the West Michigan Amateur title 8 times. Twice Bob has had a 4-peat, capturing both the West Michigan Amateur and the Kent County Amateur 4 consecutive years in a row. In addition to his many titles, Bob has earned the George Evers Trophy, which goes to the golfer with the lowest composite score in the 4 local golf majors. He has won that trophy 10 of the 16 years in which it has been awarded, including this past year. Bob was described by a couple of his fellow Aquinas golf alums as the Tiger Woods of the local amateur golf for his remarkable achievements and dedication. Please join me in welcoming Bob Secocious into the Aquinas Athletic Hall of Fame and for his Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you. Thank you. It truly is an honor and privilege to be here tonight to receive such an award. I never did expect to receive this type of reward. Throughout my golf career, my focus has been directed towards practice and preparation, working on what I perceive to be my weaknesses, so that in a tournament, my concentration was directed towards giving it my best and enjoying the moment. If I truly felt I gave 100%, winning wasn't that important. Winning was the byproduct of the preparation. I've known my co-honorees tonight, Al and Greg, my entire life. Growing up on the north side and sharing a Lithuanian heritage, they were amongst my heroes. People you want to emulate, not only for their golf skills, but their integrity, leadership, and values. I believe those are the strong attributes, the values that attracted me and others to Aquinas. My years at Aquinas were very enjoyable and rewarding. This institution not only educates, it molds you. I remember professors like Dr. Bennett, who was so passionate about his work and his students. I remember our coach, John Phillips, who would somehow find a way to get lost on the way to tournament. I recall the study sessions with my friends down in the lower level at Legge Center. I remember the camaraderie amongst the team during practice and tournaments. I remember a Sunday day when I took my then girlfriend to play a practice round before the regional tournament. After watching me play, she decided to marry me. I have a lot of fond memories. I'm truly blessed. Thank you.
If Bob is the Tiger Woods of local amateur golf, then our next two inductees are Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer of local golf. Greg Elksness played 4 great seasons for one of Aquinas College's true gentlemen, Coach Dick McCormick. Greg captained the 1970 squad, one that finished as NAIA state runner-up and advanced to the NCAA regional play. Greg holds the distinction of being the first Aquinas College golfer to earn NAI All-State honors, which he won both in 1969 and 1970. In his post-college days, Greg became the first Grand Rapids golfer to win all 4 local major amateur tournaments, the first Grand Slam. He won 6 titles in all, good for 4th place on the all-time list. In addition, Greg was the West Michigan District medalist twice and a 3-time semifinalist in the state amateur tournament. He captured 12 Blythefield Country Club championships and 2 Elks titles, 1 local win and 1 state championship. Greg was named Alumnus of the Year by Aquinas College in 1999 and has given countless hours to the college as a former member of the college's Board of Trustees. Ladies and gentlemen, the athletic department welcomes Greg Elksness into its Hall of Fame, and we are proud to present him with the Lifetime Achievement Award. I got to get 2 of them? Oh, wow. 2 of them. Wow, that's something else. I want to thank you. I would like to know what detective work you came up with to find all that information out, because I'm so old I forgot all that stuff. It happened so long ago. I want first to congratulate all the deserving honorees here tonight and thank all of you here at Aquinas that are responsible for making this evening possible. I want to thank all of you for attending and supporting Aquinas College, and especially my friends here tonight who are here to honor me and to share this moment. I am truly honored. 40 years ago, as a freshman, I walked on this campus with one goal in mind: to graduate. After cramming 4 years into 5, I did so. But I never looked back, never realizing and adequately thanking all of those people who made my education possible. 9 years ago, however, a friend reconnected me with Aquinas and reminded me that I had a debt to pay. During my years as a trustee, I gained a greater appreciation of what this college is all about. Aquinas College is truly a very special place. We are truly blessed with a faculty and staff dedicated to educating our students and preparing them for their respective professional lives. Athletics play an important role in that development. The life lessons learned through athletics cannot be found in textbooks. For you students that are here, I strongly urge all of you to cherish your days here on campus. Embrace competition. Participate in as many extracurricular activities, both on and off campus as afforded to you. I think all of us need to stop and smell the roses. Our time here is limited. Cherish it and have a good time. After graduation, please don't wait 31 years to look back, to appreciate what gift you had been given. Commit yourself, your family and friends in supporting less fortunate students and receiving the gift of an education here at Aquinas College. Thank you all for attending tonight and supporting Aquinas, and may God bless you. The name of Al Domavicius is firmly entrenched in the glowing history of Aquinas College golf. A 4-year starter in an outstanding era, he captained the 1960 and 1961 squads. The 1960 squad was undefeated, and the 1961 team lost only one match. During this time, the Grand Rapids Press saluted the Aquinas golf teams as the Yankees of the North for their outstanding accomplishments. Al then became active in the local amateur golf scene, winning 8 Grand Rapids amateur titles, placing him second on the all-time wins list. Al's victories spanned 20 years, winning his first title in 1962 and his last in 1982. He played in the state amateur tournament 25 times, qualifying in 20 of those years. He was twice a semifinalist and was the state runner-up in 1980. He has served the West Michigan Golf Association as its president for the past 25 years and is the director of the West Michigan Amateur Tournament. His peers have called him the driving force in the success and popularity of golf in West Michigan. It is our privilege to induct Al Domavicius into the Aquinas College Hall of Fame and to present him with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Al?
When you're at 1962, you need glasses. I would like to thank the coaches and the Hall of Fame committee for nominating me as an inductee in the Sports Hall of Fame. It is a great honor that I will cherish for the rest of my life. A special thanks to my golf coaches, which were Ray Null and Dan Pupil, for their guidance during my impressionable years at Aquinas. Dan Pupil is now the coach of the girls' team, women's team at present. I am proud of my athletic achievements in golf, and am also as proud of giving back to the community by serving as a board member of the West Michigan Golf Association for 45 years and as an elected president for the last 25 years. I would like to acknowledge John O'Donovan, who has been a friend of mine for 50 years. And between the two of us, we have run the Grand Rapids Golf in the city of Grand Rapids. Through the West Michigan Golf Association, which is now combined with the Grand Rapids Golf Association as of last year, which is strictly a volunteer organization that promotes amateur golf in the city of Grand Rapids. We award a yearly golf scholarship to help the Grand Rapids Community College and also help the junior golf program. We also coordinate and run the West Michigan Amateur, Match Play, the Kent County Amateur, Grand Rapids City Tournament, and the Shipman Amateur. At the end of the year, the golfers that qualify by accumulating points in each of these events play in the Wachovia Cup, which is similar to the Ryder Cup format. We also award plaques for the 8 all-city golfers that accumulate the most points for that year. My parents have passed away, but I know that they would be proud of my achievements. I want to thank my wife, Patricia, of 43 years, for putting up with all the lost weekends that I was gone playing golf while chasing my dream and passion for the game of golf. I again, with my experience at Aquinas, it set the tone for my moral and ethic life. And I again thank the committee for this honor. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach, and again, congratulations to all of our Athletic Hall of Fame inductees. It's time now for the presentation of those who will be inducted into the Aquinas College Hall of Fame. The Aquinas College Hall of Fame was established to recognize lifelong achievements of former students, faculty, and other friends of the college who have given their time and resources to the college. Nominations are presented to the college's Historical Commission, and a committee comprised of alumni and current or emeritus faculty and staff makes the selection. Our first inductees used their learning and skills for the betterment of the church and society, gave generously to maintain the campus shrine they helped construct. While Joe and Mary Beth Hansknecht spent much of their life in the Detroit area, their influence was felt across the nation. Joe's educational program on racism was adopted by many dioceses across the country, including Grand Rapids. He served on the national board of the Southern Cooperative Development Foundation and was vice president of the group's development fund, which established cooperatives in the rural South. Mary Beth spent time as a leader in the Christian family movement, among other activities that included, not incidentally, raising 9 children, 3 of whom attended Aquinas College. For their leadership and guidance in their spiritual community, as Christian role models for their children and as benefactors to their alma mater, Aquinas College proudly welcomes Joe Hansknecht and posthumously, sadly, Mary Hansknecht to the Aquinas College Hall of Fame.
It's difficult to be here as one of 2 when the 2 were one for so many years. As I've often admitted, Mary Beth did most of the work, and I was the front person who got most of the credit. I regret she isn't here physically to receive this recognition. I can remember at the end of World War II, no jobs available. Nobody from our family and relatives had ever gone to college, but there was nothing else to do, and there was this local college not far from where we lived. So I decided to go to this Aquinas College thing. During my 4 years at Aquinas, I did not hit the honor roll once. But the preparation, I think, shows the strength of the education given. I had straight A at Catholic University of America for my graduate degree. I decided to study for that. Otherwise, I was president of the Student Guild and all that type of thing, and that was a lot more fun than studying class books and texts. It's hindsight, I think, that gives me knowledge of the wonderful experience that I had as an Aquinas student. The longest lasting of those, of course, was a classmate of mine who worked with me on a committee to elect me secretary of the freshman class. Nothing happened then. But 2 years later, we were engaged. And between our junior and senior years, Mary Beth and I were married. And our first child was 9 months and 3 days. And did I have fun watching the nuns mentally count off. Thank God it was not premature. So there are some good things here at Aquinas, too. Mary Beth and I were uniquely blessed, both in our education. She did such a wonderful job. We worked together on so many projects back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, you know, when you all were middle-aged. Back in those years when race relations was the tinderbox. We lived in Detroit at the time of the riots. Grand Rapids even had a little experience along those lines. We weren't here then. Unfortunately, after all the work that we did then, when I sit in and listen to a number of people talking various subjects, I hear what to me is too common. There's too many they and not enough we. We seem to see them and how they are different. They are not we. They are not part of us. The church Catholic Church, has a priority for working with the poor and the minorities. I have to confess that while I see improvement, it's a very limited improvement. There's so much that each of us can individually do. It isn't necessary to go out and march. Sometimes a little prayer will help. And sometimes when you have bronchitis, you decide to cut your remarks short so you can all be happy. Thank you very much.
This seems to be confessional time. Greg talking about how he managed to squeeze 4 years into 5. Joe pointing out that he really didn't study much. I have to confess that it reminds me of the irony in all our lives that when I was in college, I struggled mightily to make the dean's list, and now I am one, so figure that one out. So we honor our next inductee posthumously. She worked tirelessly for years to expand the Aquinas College Library from a one-room operation to a diversified collection whose resources could be shared with the broader community. Sister Malachi Lathwaite was Aquinas College's first librarian and remained with the college through 35 years and 3 moves. Our honoring her this evening is especially fitting since only weeks ago we completed the library's move from the academic building into the new Grace Howenstein Library at the Jarecki Center for Advanced Learning. Following her years at Aquinas, Sister Malachi spent several years working with Indian youth in the southwest United States. She then returned to Aquinas, where she was frequently seen in the garden at the former House of Studies, now Ruby Hall. A portrait of Sister Malachi is in that garden, painted by renowned Grand Rapids artist Paul Collins, hangs in our new library. This new resource, available for both the college and the community at large, is a testament to her commitment to a library that would be the intellectual focus of the college campus. In recognition of her commitment and tireless efforts, we will now add Sister Malachi Laithwaite's name to the Aquinas College Hall of Fame. Accepting this recognition on Sister Malachi's behalf is the college archivist, Sister Jean Milhaupt.
As a colleague, friend, and admirer of Sister Malachi Laithwaite, I am happy to respond to her induction into the Aquinas College Hall of Fame. I am especially happy that this event takes place as the new Grace Howenstein Library opens. Sister Malachi worked tirelessly for years to fill woefully inadequate quarters from different locations, four different locations, with reading and media materials necessary for college students and faculty. Today she must be looking down with delight on the new facility, where generations of learners and teachers and friends can share her love for books, periodicals, films, sound recordings, and storytelling. In the name of Sister Malachi, I presume to say I wish to share this honor with all former staff members, the students who helped to carry the books from one room on Ransom Avenue to the apartment on Library Street, those who relocated them on the Home Dean Mansion, and my Dominican colleagues who spent their evening recreation carrying and shelving books when the administration building was completed. And I wish to thank the many friends of the Aquinas Library. There are no enemies of the library, at least to the best of my knowledge. Finally, I thank all who made possible the magnificent structure which at last deserves the name of library.
Thank you, Sister Jean. No one in this audience that is my or near my age will misunderstand when I say that as I moved that microphone down, I had an image in my mind of Sister Jerome saying, "Don't touch that." Saying that. We now would like to recognize Paul Nelson, who served the college loyally and well in many capacities, as the brief description in tonight's program provides, but inadequately. Paul served as president during a challenging time in the college's history. Through it all, he brought a refreshing balance to the college administration, hope for the future, and encouragement to those who labored to ensure a quality education for every student. He forged a bond with students, faculty, and staff that helped to minimize the anxieties and provide some reassurance about the institution's future. Paul represents the very best of what the academic profession stands for: commitment, compassion, and integrity. If you'll allow me a personal note here, when I came, Paul was one of the first people who came to my office to welcome me to the campus and has consistently offered very generously his counsel and assistance in helping me deal with the problems that I faced, and for that I will always be grateful. Please join me in a warm congratulatory welcome to President Emeritus Paul Nelson.
Thank you very much, Ed. I am truly humbled by this award. I see the faces of many people in the audience that I worked with over the years, and they deserve as much as I do to be here. In fact, I wouldn't be here if they had not been a part of Aquinas College. So I just thank you, and I congratulate all the other members who've been honored tonight and in past years. I especially want to recognize my family and my wife, Ruthie, who walked beside me every step of the way, was always behind me, sometimes a few steps in front of me. but together we made it. I want to recognize the faculty and staff, just incredible people who, during times of difficulty, stepped forward, did the best they could, always served students admirably, always cared about them, loved them, helped them to grow and develop and become the people that they are. I should remark, I was thinking about Ruthie's contribution. The first year we were here with 3 young children, in 1969-70, Grand Rapids, Michigan had 120 inches of snow, and it was the 5th coldest winter on record. And I promised Ruthie that as soon as the weather cleared, we'd move on. And here we are 37 years later. The Dominican sisters, really the soul of this institution. Their blood is in the bricks, and their inspiration, I think, is in each of our souls. The Board of Trustees, particularly the chairs of the Board of Trustees, during my time we went through a lot of chairs. Ray Knapp, Alan Ryan, Pat Quinn, John Snyder, and Peter Wegge. But just their leadership, their generosity, their caring about Aquinas College and our future brought us through some really challenging times. And especially Peter Wegge, who's here tonight. I recognize and thank you, Peter, from the bottom of my heart. Realize we would not be here tonight if it wasn't for the leadership and generosity of Peter Wegge. And Peter, we thank you. Pat Quinn and I have often said the best thing we ever did for Aquinas College was get Peter Wegge on the board. I think that the time I was president is probably known, that era is known as the time when we robbed Peter to pay Paul. Norbert Ruby, who's also here, those various positions that I filled, Norb tried very hard to find one I could do well, and he kept moving me every several years, hoping it would work out. And I guess in the end it did work out pretty well. Since I was 8 years of age, I wanted to be in the Hall of Fame. I was thinking the Baseball Hall of Fame, but I'm very proud to be in the Aquinas Hall of Fame. My only problem in not making the Baseball Hall of Fame was I had trouble hitting the thrown ball and catching the hit ball. But this makes up for that. So many things have happened to me and to this college in this room. I can remember the self-study led by Norbert Ruby. I can think of the homecoming masses. I can remember a night when Father Bernard Lonergan spoke here, and I came refreshed, anxious to understand everything that he said with his great wisdom and theological insight. And I have to confess I didn't understand a single thing he said. But I'm sure it was wonderful. But what I remember most of all is I believe it was 1995. President Gerald Ford, former President Gerald Ford, was in this room addressing the freshman class. And a freshman student raised his hand during the question and answer, and he said, Mr. President, could you tell us what you and Betty Ford did when you realized that you were going to become President of the United States? And he said, yes, I remember it very well. And it's something we did many times during our life. We knelt together and held hands and recited Proverbs, the 3rd verse. Trust in the Lord with your whole heart and lean not on your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all that you do, and he will direct your paths. And that marvelous insight of his, that sharing, if you will, of that moment, seems to me to have been a part of my history of Aquinas College and a part of what Aquinas College is all about. We have trusted in the Lord, and he has directed our paths. So thank you for being part of this wonderful institution. Thank you for this great honor. I'm humbled by it, and I'm very grateful for it. God bless you, and God bless Aquinas College.
Thank you, Paul. Your comment about robbing Peter to pay Paul and Al's comments about the Dominicans instilling in him the commitment to education reminds me that I also worked with Franciscans before I came here, so I'm also well acquainted with the concept of poverty. On behalf of the college, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight for what's become an important tradition on our campus. An evening like this cannot happen without the effort, planning, and energy of many people, and I'd like to call your attention to the members of the Honorary Committee and the Working Committee of the Hall of Fame Gala, whose names are listed in the printed program you have, and ask you to recognize them for making this evening a truly special occasion. I also applaud the effort of those in several departments of the college, including advancement, the alumni department, the alumni association, college relations, Coach Beauchamp's athletic department, and members of the college historical commission. Hearing tonight the citations and personal anecdotes from presenters and honorees alike, we can all feel proud to be associated with the long and distinguished history of Aquinas College and can look forward, I think, to continuing the Dominican tradition that combines academic excellence with a lifelong commitment to learning and to serving others in our professions and in our lives. Through dinner, I was talking with Sister Mary Navarre, and we were talking about our college experiences, and I mentioned that I had been to visit last year a friend of mine from college, a college roommate that I've known for 50 years, much as the sort of thing we've heard tonight. What that did to me was to make me aware that college is something that young people enjoy, people experience, but they don't really appreciate until they get out. And that when I look at the kinds of students that we have here today and the kind that I see every day in my classes and look at you, the alumni of this institution, it makes me believe that the future of Aquinas College and education in general is really very bright. And I think that we should all be very proud of our role in that. To conclude this evening's celebration, we call upon Sister Rosemarie Martin, former Technical Services Librarian, for the benediction. Sister?
Let us pray. God of all goodness, we take leave of this gathering, honoring those who represent years of dedication to the college, distinguished service, and athletic excellence. Following their example and united with them in the Dominican tradition of service, may each of us make our own contributions, however large or small, to build a better world now and in the future. Send us forth as one people that we may realize the splendor of your creation, now and forever. Amen.
Thank you, Sister. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And would the honorees please come to the front before you leave so we can take some photographs, please. Thank you all for coming.